Hello YouTube, welcome back. Alright, we're in chapter 3 of, in section 2 of Computer Science Honors. So let's take a look at it. Here we go. So let's do a note to self. Computer Science Honors, chapter 3, section 2. We're talking about variables in Python. Today's date. We actually did this on the 4th, but that's okay. Today's date is the 7th. Okay, so number 1. Find the area of a circle with radius 5. And they didn't give a unit, so don't worry about units. So what we did was we set a variable r equal to 5, initialized it to 5. Then we created a variable to really be like a constant. So let's say 3.14159268, I think is as close as we're going to need. And then how do you find the area of the circle? Let's find area equals what? Well, it's pi times r squared. You could do this, or you could do the caret symbol in Sage, not in Python. And so why don't we just print out all three things? Here we go. So semicolon, show, quote, quote, comma, r equals r. And we're basically going to do this 3 times. So just copy it. This will be pi equals pi. And my style sheet is constants. I usually put it in all uppercase. Variables I put in camel case, but there's only one word, so how about this? Area of circle. So there's camel case, okay? Whoops, no, that's camel case. Alrighty, and let's do the same thing here, but now we want area of circle here and here. And so if we run that, what happens? We got 78.539-ish or 540-ish if we're running off the nearest thousandth. We checked this in class using a TI calculator just to make sure we did it with different technology, different way. We got the same answer, so we're good. And that's our estimate for pi. That's the radius. That's the area. And if this is in inches, that's in square inches. Boom, done. All right, that was number 1. All right, number 2. Number 2 says, what does this code do? Okay, what does this code do? All right, simply all they did was they set x equal to 5, and then they reassigned x to 2 times x. So, in other words, since x is 5 here, x becomes 10. So that's a reassignment. The new value of x is the old value of x times 2. And let's do, whoops. Let's do this kind of thing again. By the way, the semicolon just means this is the equivalent of 2 lines in one. You could do this as 2 separate lines if you want. I'm just trying to save space on the screen. Here I want to print out x. And so it should say 5 here, and it should say 7 there, right? Okay, let's see. 5 and double 5, 10. Okay. All right, that's perfect. Let me check my output. That's all the output for number 1. So output for number 2. Okay, number 3. Number 3, they give you some sample variable names and ask which ones are valid or not. Okay, so I'm going to list the allowed names. List allowed variable names. These should be descriptive variable names or descriptive function names, variable names. It's not good to just use x and y and z all the time, or a, b, and c all the time. And so of the ones that they listed, okay, we found that these were okay. All right, what were they? Name is okay. Like if you want to store your name, right? D7 was okay. First underscore name was okay. And last name in camel case was okay. And amount in proper case was okay. All right, so what they said in the book is you should use alphanumeric, letters and numbers. If you want to separate them, you can use an underscore. They didn't really talk about camel case too much or proper case too much, but that's okay. And you could use other characters other than the underscore, I guess. But what you can't do is start a variable name or a function name with a number. So D7 is good, but 7D is not good. Okay? First underscore name is good, but first dash name is not, because then it looks like we're doing first whatever that is minus name, whatever that is. So here's the ones that we're not allowed. They listed this in a different order. That's okay. No, listed disallowed. Haha. Where am I? Disallowed variable names, and they were let's see, somewhere in the list they gave us the variable name 2x. Like we said, we can't start with a number. And it looks like you're doing 2 times x anyway. That's confusing. Then they had something like half price. That's no good because the dash there actually represents subtraction, so that's no good. And Bob, in quotes, is no good because that's a string literal. That's not, I'm going to have to use double quotes here. That's a string literal, a value that you can put in a string variable, not a variable name itself. Okay, so that was our answer. From the variable names they gave us, these were bad, basically. Okay. So there you go. There's your output. There's your input. Oh, did I forget to show blank? We're spacing out the output a little bit. Right, look, see, it's sort of a mess between 2 and 3. It's hard to tell where 2 ends and 3 starts. Now it's easy, right? See, that's why I do that. All right, good. That was number 3. All right, number 4. Let's see, number 4. What was number 4? Define a variable first name equal to your first name. Define a variable last name. This is in camel case, by the way. Equal to your last name, and write an expression that concatenates the two together with a space in between. Oh, okay. All right, so in other words, output your name. Okay. So show number 4, output your name. And they wanted to use the print statement because that's Pythonic, but we could use show, same thing. So we initialized first name, we created a variable first name, initialized it to the string, I'm Al, my first name. And then last name, I'm using camel case here, last name equals, well, I'm Garcia. So full name, let's say, would be what? It would be first name. Is it just first name concatenate last name? No, because then there's no space in the middle, right? Just for fun. Whoops. Let's do this kind of thing here. But it's first name instead of X. And here, whoops. But it's last name. And it's full name. So let's see what that looks like. Number 4. I didn't do the spacing. So first name is Al, last name is Garcia, and full name is Al Garcia, but no space in between. Oh, okay. So how do you fix that? Well, wait, hang on. I better put a show here. Well, you could have put a space. Let's see. You could put a space in one of the names, I guess. Put a space there if you want. That would fix it, wouldn't it? Let's see. Yep, there it is. But what we did was, instead of changing the string literal, what we did was we put a space here and concatenated that in. Let's see if that works. And that's another option. Perfect. Whoops, what did I do? I put number 3 in the wrong place. How did I get down there? This number 3 goes here. There you go. That's why we lost the spacing. Okay, so first name, last name, and full name spaced out. Good, I like it. That's it. That's it. All right, so there's the code for 1 and 2. And this was just given. Just had to run it, see what it does. So this is called a reassignment. It changes the value of x based on the old value of x, becomes a new value of x. In this case, doubles. Okay. This is just using some variables to store your work, right? And then use a formula to find an answer. Nice. Reminiscent of old Fortran, which is named aptly, meaning formula translator. That's what Fortran was all about, writing formulas out in your computer. All right, so now number 5. What was number 5? What is the result of the following code? Okay, so A is assigned 3, B is assigned 2. Okay. So we're going to do, what does this code do again? But this time it's number 5. And so they gave us this. A is initialized to 2. Sorry, 3. B is initialized to 2. Then A becomes A plus B. So what does that do? It takes the current value of A and B and adds them, 3 plus 2, and reassigns it to A, so A becomes 5. So if we print out the first A, it's 3. Then B, we print out is 2. Then the second time we print out A, if we want to print out all of this stuff, it's going to be 5. But then what if we make B equal to A minus B? Well, now the problem is that A changed now. It's not 3 anymore. It's 5 minus the B, which is still 2, is going to get you B is going to be B is going to be 3, right? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So let's do one of these thingies right here. So let's print out A, and let's print out B, and let's print out A, see what happens to it, and print out B, see what happens to it. So 3, 2, 5, 3, let's see. 3, 2, 5, 3, perfect. That's exactly what it does. All right, so we figured out what that code does. That's the reassignment stuff again. All right. Blank show. Then number 7. So, sorry, 6. All right, so what does 6 want? 6 says, what does this code do? Okay, same idea. So, let's do that. No. Okay. So this is what they did. They set age equal to 5. Okay? And then they said show, and then we did show age. Okay, that's all. So let's do a show age. And that should just print out 5. But then they said show the length of age. So we're going to do the same thing, but apply the length argument to an int. Can you do that? Wait, yeah, that's right. Can you apply len length function to an int? Let's see what happens. You can't. It has no length function for integers. You can't do that. So what does this do? This is an error. Don't do this. So in other words, we're just going to comment this out and not do it. Okay, that's fine. But can you do it? Wait, let's not comment that out yet. Oh, jeez. Wait, let's not comment that out yet. But can you do it this way? If age is not an int, age is actually the string 5. Let's make this a string 5. Well, string. Literal string. Okay. And then now I'm going to comment this out because I don't want this error in my output. Can you do, all right, so it'll print out 5 and it should print out the length of 5, which is 4 characters. Does it print out 4? It does. Perfect. So age is 5. We can't print out the length of the int 5, but we can print out the length of the string 5, which is 4 characters. Okay, good. Nice. All right, what was 7? Write a function pow4 that takes x to the 4th, inputs x, returns x to the 4th, but don't use the exponentiation star or caret operator. Use only 2 multiplications. Okay. So here we go. This is number 7. Okay, define a function to calculate or find x to the 4th using 2 multiplications. Don't use exponentiation. 2 multiplications. Using 2 multiplications. All right, so we thought about this for a while and we figured out, let's see, def, they called it pow4 in the problem. Now, you could just return x to the 4th. That's not the point. What we did was we said, let x equal x times x. So say, let's say we plug in 5. Then 5 times 5 is 25, and we assign that to x. So x is 25. But then what if we do this again? Now that x is 25 here, x is 5 here, x is 5 here, so x is 25 25 here. So 25 times 25 is